gentlemen.
It's time for some more Overwatch League.
This is where it gets out of control.
Swoosh leading the pony ride to the stage. I love it.
And here's the Deadeye. 2 kills for Logic.
And that is the first big win for the Florida Mayhem.
Los Angeles Valiant, the hometown heroes, versus the London Spitfire.
Good job, guys.
And they're taking us to a 5th map. Big Ben is ringing out. Jake! Huge tire from him. Disaster for Dallas.
First shot fired, and it is from the Outlaws.
Another impressive showing from Soul Dynasty.
They will take the 4-0.
This is the most clinical we have seen the Excelsior yet.
He really hasn't been showboating.
The guy is unreal.
Hydration, hacking and flashing, and there you go. Shadow Bird smoke that, and the Gladiators run it back.
Let's go, run him, guys!
San Francisco shot. You better believe they've done it in overtime. Soul Dynasty is sitting at the top of the pack. It's only week 2.
Blizzard Arena, how we doing? You guys fired up? Welcome back, everybody. It is week 3 live here from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. This is the Overwatch League, and once again, I'm your host, back at the desk, Chris Puckett here in action, and I am alongside some of the greats in the business. We've got our insider Zoe alongside Crumbs, and a man cosplaying as Blue Cheese today. Sideshow's in action. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's pretty good, you know. I'm looking forward to these games. We've got some good ones coming up, ending with the Battle for LA, which I know the crowd is out hyped for. We've already heard them going wild earlier on.
It's a big week 3 here, Crumbs.
It absolutely is, because we get to finally see where Seoul gets to stand when they face off against New York.
It's going to be a great one. We're getting into the action today, and we have to start things off here with a quick note. As you saw on Watchpoint, we got some rule changes coming into today's maps. We're going to see our #1 map is now going to be hybrid to open up every series. Meanwhile, Escort is moving to that map #4.
This is just a win for everyone, because you can't tie on your payload maps. This should eliminate 4th game ties, which were getting confusing and anticlimactic.
All right, before we get into today's matches, we're starting off a fresh week, and we should catch everyone up at home exactly where we're at in the standings. So as we take a look, it's Soul Dynasty, New York Excelsior, and London Spitfire all sitting up top at a perfect 4-0. Who are some of the squads you're looking at in the middle of the pack, though?
Oh, you know, actually, the middle of the pack is super interesting. And I do feel like they actually keep the hype up. There is no clear favorite in the middle. I personally could not pick one to actually join the top 6 at this point.
I mean, interestingly, LA Valiant look like they're in the middle of the pack at the moment, but have had a very strong strength of schedule, so perhaps they're the guys that are going to reach this undefeated top 4 for now. But they have to have a big performance today if they want to do that.
All right, let's get into our matches for today. Keep your eyes on those 2-2 LA squads, because later on, they will be battling it out at 8 p.m. I know a lot of people in this crowd fired up for that matchup. At 6 o'clock, we're going to see the Shanghai Dragons face off against the Seoul Dynasty, but it all starts right here, the battle between our orange teams, the 2-2 San Francisco Shock taking on the unbeaten London Spitfire. Are you guys ready to get this started? Put your hands together and welcome our first team to the stage. It's the San Francisco Shock. Now the Shock are coming into this match with a 2-2 record. Last week they dropped to the Philadelphia Fusion, but edged out Boston with an epic Game 5. Crumbs, let's start with you. How did they get the big win over Boston?
Well, they had great self-awareness, identifying their weaknesses and turning them into strength. Dante previously was unable to offer a whole lot of Tracer, but now he became a threat in his own right, even earning player of the game. And you had Doc and Sleepy mix and match their hero pool to make sure that they could stay alive and survive the dive that Boston was bringing.
Yeah, the issue Doc addressed in his post-game interview last week was that the players are very emotional, which did cause issues during week 1, as the communication did suffer whenever the game did not go their way. Now, during that game on Oasis last week against Boston, they actually showed that they clearly addressed this problem. They put structures into place. Sleepy and Doc took over the shot calling whenever Baby Bay needed to focus. So overall, I feel like their coordination and communication looked much improved, and that enabled them to really bounce back.
Sideshow, the squad is 2-2 right now. What is their greatest strength entering today's matchup?
Well, something that they've massively improved on has been their tank play. They play an anti-dive style, trying to set up Baby Bay and empower him. And we saw when Boston were focusing them, the tanks of Nomi and Nevix were getting a lot more done than we previously seen. So that's a good strength moving forwards, especially against London.
The Shock are the underdogs coming into this one, because on the other side of the stage, they're going up against the unbeaten London Spitfire. Getting tripped out on the lead in, but I love this squad. They're coming in unbeaten, and that's because they were able to pull off a 3-1 victory over the Dallas Fuel before edging out the Valiant in another big game on Friday. Hurek coming out, dropping all 5 of his teammates.
When you look at this schedule, there are three Giants in this league: New York, Seoul, and London. And London has been the first to show that these Giants certainly can bleed. They were forced to buckle down on Game 5 against the Valiant, and they're probably upset about having to bleed that way, and now they're going to take it out, seeking revenge on their opponents this week.
And you know what? I don't actually think they struggled or anything. I just think they tried a lot of different things out. They're still experimenting with the lineups. We saw Fisher and Rascal last week. Now we see Hurek been thrown into the mix, giving some stage time and stage experience. And we did talk to their coach, Bishop, and he did say that this week they will still do some more exploring. However, looking into the future, they do want to focus on their primary strengths and look for a stable roster with little variations.
You know, I've looked at Hurek backstage earlier. He's been all smiles. Watching him in the walkout, all smiles. This guy is fired up to play today. Sideshow, what should we expect from the DPS player?
Yeah, Hurek hasn't been seen for London Spitfire during the regular season, but this guy's a champion in his own right. He was part of the GC Busan roster when they were coming into the Overwatch League and were picked up by Spitfire. He was a champion, but he plays a safer style than you might expect from the London DPS. He plays Soldier 76, McCree, Tracer, Widowmaker, these hit scan heroes, but plays them in a safe manner that allows his other partner to pop off. So look for Birdring and Hurek to form a very complementary style.
I love how London is always mixing things up. As we take a look at the full starting lineups for both teams, you'll notice for the London Spitfire, it's going to be Gesture on the bench, Fissure is into action, Hurek the starter for the DPS lineup. So let's talk about these two teams. The starting games opening up, Sideshow, how did the play styles compare?
So what we've seen from these teams previously is that London typically like to play very aggressive. When they came up against the Shock previously, because Shock liked to try and absorb that aggression, London instead just picked off their supports. So instead of focusing on Baby Bay and trying to dive him, they took other players out of the mix. They made sure that their tanks couldn't have any efficiency in the fights, and they focused on just destroying the structure around Baby Bay rather than diving him specifically. So this is very much aggression against defense here, I think, throughout the whole course of this, but the pressure is on San Francisco Shock, because if you give these the teams as good as London an inch, they're going to take a mile, so they can't afford to let up at all.
Zoe, when you look at this squad, we see the strengths of London Spitfire in the past. How do you feel this team is coming into this match emotionally, knowing that you have a fresh player in here, as opposed to using a guy like Prophet, who we've seen on the stage over and over again?
I do feel like they have been mixing it up a lot, but it always worked out for them. They still have a lot of cohesion, have very talented individual players, so I don't actually think that Hurek is worried whatsoever, as it has been working out for them. And they have been incredibly versatile. Based on the players and their deep hero pools, they've been able to pull out stuff like Reaper defenses with the Torbjorn, also the Mei on Horizon. We saw Reaper defense on Junkertown. So a lot of interesting compositions coming out of that squad.
Such a deep roster. Let's talk about the maps here, Crumbs, as we're about to get into the action. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Hybrid is no longer map 4. It is now map number 1. How does that change things, if at all? And how do these two teams compare in our 4 maps?
So the order in which the maps are set doesn't matter a whole lot, but what matters is the records for both these teams on specific maps here. Horizon is particularly bad for San Francisco, as they have never even gotten 2 ticks on the first point, even against the Shanghai Dragons, where you have London that has won 3 games in a row on this map. So if I'm San Francisco, I scratch this map altogether, prepare for the other 2. Here's why. London has struggled against Oasis multiple times in the past, and Icanoball, which is our first map, which in fact are going to be easier for them to get things going, build that confidence, build that emotion for them. So I think that the map switch might help them in the emotional sense, but not necessarily for them actually winning.
Sideshow, there's a lot of San Francisco fans in the crowd today. Question for you: if they're going to get the win, if they're going to upset London according to our standings, who is the player to watch from the San Francisco Shock?
Well, the system has to empower him for sure, but the guy that you want to see stepping up and delivering superstar level performances is Baby Bay. The guy is phenomenal. The team has to be working well around him, and London will try and disrupt it in any way they can, but Baby Bay needs to come out with huge performances to win here.
Can Baby Bay lead his squad to a win? We're about to find out. Game number 1 is ready, and so are our casters. Let's send it on over to Monty and Doa.
Thanks, Puckett. We are indeed ready. Welcome, guys, to another great week of Overwatch League. We're going to jump right into this one on Icanoball, and I'm excited about this because even though it is quite the mountain to climb for San Francisco, Monty, they have shown some improvement. I feel like we're seeing more than just Baby Bay to talk about on this team lately.
Well, especially with Dante. He did take the MVP of their last match when they played against the Boston Uprising. Like you say, it's still going to be a very hard match for them. I'm intrigued that we're seeing Hureg start out today, but I'm happy we're going to see him on Farah on defense because in the preseason, he was outstanding on this hero, and I'm looking forward to seeing a repeat performance.
Right, we've seen him pull out the Widowmaker on occasion too, so if they keep him in for another map or two, we might see some swaps. But London Spitfire, they've got Fissure in there too, so clearly experimenting a little bit with the rosters here on Icanoball.
I'm happy to see Fissure again. For me, he was the overall best tank in the world in 2017, so fun to see him rejoin the lineup and get some more games under his belt, particularly some of the weird ones like the Torbjorn Reaper defense that we saw London Spitfire break out on Dorado, so we'll keep an eye out for some more interesting strategies.
All right, well, Sleepy lining up those shots with the alternate fire. They're trying to break through here.
All right, so Baby Bay actually goes back and switches to McCree instantly, and I think this is good. This is the style of attack they played on Icanoball before with Tracer McCree, and Baby Bay has not been spectacular on the Farah, so I wouldn't want to go head-to-head against Hureg.
Speaking of the Farah, Hureg already 80% towards his ultimate right now. This guy is not missing rockets, and Baby Bay forced back, lands that flashbang, but Fissure's got the shield. Nomi does fall, so San Francisco without their Winston at the moment, and now without a lot of other people, this push may be stuffed for now.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait, though, London, without their tank for the moment. Fissure was picked off at the start of that fight. There is going to be a resurrection now for Fissure. Everybody back alive, but Fissure playing aggressively, and he opened up the space to get the pick in the back line for London and get them the couple-player advantage.
I'm amazed. Hureg already has his barrage, man. We barely got started here. Baby Bay unloading into the Winston on the other side. He's got his ultimate as well. Hureg takes himself out. There goes Fissure. Opportunity here for San Francisco Shock as they move towards point A. Sleepy picking up that one on the tank. They go ahead and use the Valkyrie. Transcendence coming in from the London side, but they are short-handed. Oh, bull support ults used, but Nuss picked off immediately by Baby Bay's Deadeye. It's pretty much going all San Francisco's way right now until I said that. And then Vidocin got a couple kills. Can London hold, though? It looks like they barely can. Wow. Yeah, they still have that around there.
Yeah, they definitely did, though. 5 people still remaining on the point. It looked disastrous when Nuss went down, but thanks to Vidocin grabbing a couple of kills late, but they still used all their ultimates. So Sleepy's going to come back with the Transcendence right now. San Francisco Shock should be able to push through with a large ultimate advantage. So really just time bought here by the Spitfire.
Vidocin lurking, doesn't want to get dove here. Shock hasn't been the most
efficient.
There we go.
That's a big kill. Sleepy goes down. That means they're going to have to res him to get the trance back up. And this is going to buy London time to get their ults back online.
Well, there's no res if your Mercy goes down. Dak following soon afterwards, and another hold for London Spitfire down to just 1:30 left for San Francisco's attack. They need to get something going in a hurry here.
Well, they lost their window of opportunity. Now that we're going to see Vidocin matching the Transcendence again. And Vidocin has really been the hero of this match so far, getting these crucial kills.
Oh man, he carried that a fight 2 fights ago to keep London in it. Getting those picks at the beginning of the last one. See what he's got in store for us now. Greg's still sitting on that barrage.
I mean, right now, Vidocin is doing 22% of his team's damage, so more than Birdring.
Well, Birdring wants to change that right now. He's got the pulse bomb loaded up, and after this Transcendence over, no, he's just going to go and stick it to Baby Bay, and Baby Bay's McCree goes down. Birdring wants that damage back. Doc wants his DPS back as he brings Baby Bay back in action. There's a barrage Hureg gets blown into, though, by Nevix, taken down. Kills coming in on both sides, and Fissure trying to deal with the San Francisco players on the outside of the fight right now. Can't get Nevix out of his mech, but he does get the kill on Nomi, and the rest of his team clearing things up. Can't quite there. No.
Got over.
I don't think he got. He did get over? Okay, there we go. All right.
Eventually.
Agile ape.
The Valkyrie being back up, saving things for Nuss, and Doc is going to get his right for this last push. They have to use this Valkyrie effectively, but it's going to be difficult with the zoning ult from Fury coming in on that self-destruct.
They're going to need a pretty perfect push here to do this one. Otherwise, this will be a short attack run. Hureg diving in deep right away. He's got the Winston shield to protect him. Nuss falls to the Deadeye, though. Good start for San Francisco. They've eliminated the Mercy. Nomi does go down though. Bidosin strikes again on that Zenyatta. Hurek still looking for more targets as his team. Oh, Bidosin falls. Another kill for Baby Bay. This may be the opportunity that San Francisco's been looking for, but we're into overtime. It's down to the wire already here, and Hurek, he needs to carry right here, right now, and he does it. There's a kill on the dock. Birdring falling people on the side here too.
Yeah, they're gonna have some more heals though, even as San Francisco comes in. They've got 3 people. Hurek is still alive.
That's right. Should be okay for now. Hurek's still firing away. There's 1 tick taken, though. Somebody's got to get on this point and prevent San Francisco from taking it. And now Nomi buying a lot of time with that Primal Rage. Oh, but he can't stay on the payload, and that'll be it. Round 1 is done. And a strong hold for London Spitfire.
That was an incredible performance by Hurek as well, coming out with 31% of his team's damage, over 6,000. Compare that to Dante on the Shock, the next closest player on the opposite team with about 3,900. So Hurek, they didn't really have an answer. His positioning was just making it very easy for him to get the damage down. And a lot of that was Fisher and Fury creating so much space for him to just sort of fire rockets in from a long way away in the back line.
Well, yeah, and generally when Baby Bay got close, he couldn't stay alive because not only were the rockets accurate, but like you said, the tanks were there to protect their Pharah.
This is going to be only 50% for San Francisco as we switch over to London Spitfire on the attack. Not a lot of work to do here on Icanoball Day.
Might be a pretty I was no guys, you should never quit your ranked games. I'm not promoting that. No, it's never a quitty in Overwatch. That's always a stay and finish no matter what.
That's right. You never know when you're going to win, right? There's still an opportunity.
You threw me because you said A at the last part of your sentence. I thought I was back in Minnesota again. They're going to have an easy push, eh? And maybe after the match, you'll drive the snowmobile out on the lake there. And,
I
have a potluck in the church basement.
Yeah, sometimes I just go Canadian.
Yeah, you know, I understand that. A. Or maybe, you know, could have been doing an Uber impression. An Australian thing a little bit.
Does he
do
the A? I don't know.
No, he doesn't really. I'm reaching. I'm reaching. They're setting up. We got to talk about something.
All the colonies are not the same, Don.
You said it, not me. Watch out. San Francisco on the defense. Again, they really have to put up a pretty heroic effort here to try to win this map. London Spitfire, with not a whole lot they need to accomplish, just 50% on point A, and they'll win Icanoball.
Yeah, Fisher going to switch off to the Winston after dropping the Sonic Arrow. Birdring doesn't like what he sees and goes back to the Tracer.
I don't think he saw much anything. He kind of missed his grapple there.
Yeah, I think also they were thinking maybe San Francisco would be playing a more forward defense to make sure that they were protecting the point before any capping could go on.
Could be. Fisher waiting for a chance to come in here. Birdring taking a good amount of damage. San Francisco, yeah, you just got to play the point here, man. You just can't let him come in. Birdring trying to flank around the outside right now. Has to deal with Dante, though. Get the health pack.
Just a little poking in right now. This is typically how we see Icanoball A play out. So much Tracer and Pharah in attack, and what that means is you want to get the poke down with the Pharah and then try and finish things off with the Tracer in the back line.
Dak fell pretty early in that fight, and that's a big problem for San Francisco. They lose Nomi as well. Baby Bay still way up in the air on that Pharah.
Oh, the air-to-air rocket for the finisher from Hurek.
Wow, Hurek just coming alive already here in map 1, and that's the first tick taken for London Spitfire. They're going to keep it moving here. Dante trying desperately to keep his team in this one. I don't know if they can do it, though.
Some kills coming in. Actually, nailing some of these kills has been the big difference maker for San Francisco so far as they continue to hold, but the spawn times are coming in.
Well, I'm surprised they got back that quickly, actually. So London, they got the first tick, so that's enough. They've still got 230 to get just half of a tick on the control meter to win this map, but San Francisco Shock, you know, holding him for now.
Yeah, still both of our Zenyatta players on the defense here, the big difference maker as the tide turns in favor of the defense with some late kills.
Oh, Birdring. Baby Bay picks him off.
Yeah, that's going to be a quick kill that will go ahead and prompt the Valkyrie to be used, but those are the 2 reses, so no more resurrections available.
Yeah, that's right. Nuss getting pretty low, though. Nevix, meanwhile, about half his mech gone. Vidosin back up. Hureg looking for those air-to-airs one more time. Baby Bay sneaking up on him. Oh, he takes a rocket to the face, though. Has to get away in a hurry. Gets a little bit of healing, so he's back in it again, and he's got that barrage. Gotta watch out. Dante does fall. San Francisco Shock shorthanded for the moment, but Birdring taken out. So there's the equalization here.
Yeah, they want to get that Valkyrie out of Dak, but he's just not using it right now.
Well, there's a barrage coming out of Hureg. He gets the kill on the Nevix.
There's the
Fury
follow-up.
comes in. Oh, nice right click, and that'll be it. With the alternate fire from Zed, London will take the map. They will go up 1-0.
That distraction barrage from Hureg while the self-destruct was the follow-up.
Yeah.
Everybody immediately turning onto the easy target of the Pharah and ignoring the self-destructing mech coming in seals the deal for London.
That's a really creative way to use that there. I mean, he had a good angle on the Diva with that barrage too, but yeah, like you said, just more of a distraction, so Fury could put that self-destruct right in the middle of San Francisco, and that's going to lead London to a 1-0 lead here. A quick start in our first match of the day as London comes in, and Hureg, he only needs 5 shots, but no, that's your own team. No.
The Deadeye were very effective, the 5K Deadeye.
I would say so. Assault coming up, guys. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP and by Intel.
I'm Dak, and I play main support for San Francisco Shock.
They are going to Dak. He's going to be the old man, the big brother on the squad.
So I was born in Venezuela, but I was raised in Spain from the time I was 12 years old. My favorite hero is Lucio, and what I like about him is just his mobility and his whole kit. So I can basically support any hero and enable any play in the game.
Doc comes in, dislodging the Widowmaker. That's what you want to do on the Lucio.
I didn't want to be a main support player from the beginning, but I picked up Lucio from day one, and I became really good at it, so it was just a natural transition into the main support role. I used to be a professional poker player. Learning to play poker has taught me a lot about strategy. And in a competitive game like this one, I think strategy and mental toughness correlate really easily between the two games. My goal for this season is to win the Overwatch League. Period.
And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Dak himself, Lucio extraordinaire, and occasional Mercy, and occasional victim to cars on Oasis. But hey, we mostly like his good Lucio play, all right?
Yeah, it's very aggressive Lucio play, and he has been, talking to the San Francisco Shock guys, an emotional leader on this team. You really do see him serving that role, especially to keep the rest of the younger players in line. And here we have a substitution.
Well, Profit's coming in for Hureg, and it was a great performance by Hureg on Icanoball, though. I mean, really sick Pharah play. Profit, whoa! Whoa, I did not see that one coming from Profit. Wow.
Oh, that's a way to start a match.
Someone get Nate Nanzer on the line. Well, guys, we're going to Horizon Lunar Colony, and it doesn't get any easier for San Francisco from here. Unfortunately for them, they have not yet taken point A on this map, and even lost it to Shanghai, giving Shanghai their only map win of the entire season so far. So this map has kind of been their kryptonite. Can they overcome it this time?
Yeah, this has been really rough for them. When we think about some of the attacks that they've had, they lost to the Shanghai Dragons without taking the first point through some very questionable engages. Last time we saw them play it, they wanted to run quad tank with the Moira, as you call it, the Slambulance, I believe.
It's the Slambulance, man, right? Because you've got Lucio driving the ambulance, he's got the speed boost, Moira's keeping everybody healed in the back, and then the 4 tanks are the patients. You got to get them to the point. You got to get them to hospital as fast as possible. Slam them in there. It's the Slambulance.
The Slambulance, but the Slambulance sort of careened out of control on point A.
It kind of did.
They decided to go back and have a late Sombra and Widowmaker swap off, which didn't really result in any more success. So they've been struggling with getting the attack rolling here.
Yeah. True enough. I mean, they tried that, and like you said, they tried the Sombra too, but it seemed like while they kind of knew what it took to run these compositions, they didn't really seem to have a lot of experience in performing it smoothly, right? So if they try that type of thing again, what we'll be looking for is just kind of crisper execution, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. In London, they are going to be going back to a pretty standard defense composition, pick comp that we see on the high ground here so often on Horizon Point A, trying to fish out some kills with the Widowmaker either getting a big headshot there or landing a Junkrat trap or a Roadhog hook.
Well, we'll see what they can put together here. I don't think Sleepy's going to be playing with Pharah. We're going to see him swap back to the Zen here as we get things started. Baby Bay on the Widow makes sense, and they are going to try to run the Sombra again.
Okay. So we've seen this composition. It's not quite the same as having the Moira there with the Sombra and the Tracer, but the idea is still the same. You have the Widowmaker instead. So Widowmaker's going to hang back and try and hit people on the point as they retreat in order to stop the backcapping from the Sombra.
Whoa, Sombra gonna, or rather Nomi gonna get picked off here as they try to approach. So rough start for San Francisco right off the bat here. Did Sleepy get back to hack the health pack? So that's the question. Yeah,
Sleepy and Dante are currently on the far side of the point by the mini health pack. It is hacked and they're trying to pressure it. Profit is on that side right now, deterring Dante, but he's in a 1v2.
Birdring does demagnetics. That's going to be a problem for San Francisco as well.
Got hacked, actually.
Oh, there's one tick for San Francisco here. They're moving towards 2. London a little bit caught up on the side here, and Sleepy doing a good job of controlling space from the side. Nuts does go down.
That's huge.
Yeah, great shot from Baby Bay. Crucial stuff here. Sleepy needs to be careful. Gets back. His health pack here.
London's being very determined not to go back to the point slowly. Finally, they allocate some more resources. The Dak is gonna fall.
What a hook from Fury, and that's gonna be the end of that attack from San Francisco for now. Sleepy very close to the EMP though, so they've got another opportunity between that and Dak's Valkyrie, which is coming up pretty soon too.
Wow, that was such a good opening for San Francisco though. They were incredibly close to popping the EMP before Nuss could come and reinforce. And they seem to have everything going their way, getting all the way up to that first pick.
Oh, Sleepy taken down at 98%, so that push is going to have to wait. They need that EMP there. Oh, and they could use their Widowmaker too. Great shot from Birdring, vaulting up there with a flying headshot. Dak has to use that res early. Oh, missed that one. He's got more opportunities coming up here. San Francisco, though, Dante, no kills. In fact, he got hooked, I think. Fury, either way, finding that kill, and San Francisco just keeps losing people as they approach the point.
And this has been really par for the course for San Francisco on Horizon. They really have struggled to coordinate their attacks. Even when they get advantages, they have not been able to really get the most out of them or exploit them to the degree where they can actually take this first point.
Well, it's like Crumbs mentioned on the desk. San Francisco has only taken the first 2 ticks of point A. That's all the farther they've gotten on this map so far. And they're not even there yet this time around. Dante falls again, and here comes another Riptire. Ooh, Prophet loses it though. Nevix kills it right before they lose their Mercy. That was close. Dak brings Dante back. San Francisco on it right now. There's tick number 2. London trying to get in. They do get Baby Bay. EMP used though. Sleepy falls, and now Fury, he didn't get EMP'd. He's going to be able to use that whole hog. Will it be enough though with that Valkyrie? It may be. Oh, how did he get that hook? Man, just fishing, and he comes up with Sleepy on the Sombra. I think he was invisible too. I think that was a bit of luck there on his part.
That was a great hook, but really the hero was Birdring in that engagement because he knew exactly what San Francisco was going to do. He knew Baby Bay would be looking for that sight line into the point. He actually went back there on a solo mission, sniped Baby Bay, and then took Baby Bay's position to fire back into the point for the defense.
And Fury just has Sleepy on lockdown right now, man. He's finding him every single time. There is no mystery about what San Francisco is doing, and you gotta give London a lot of credit as they clean this fight up at not giving San Francisco what they want. They're not going onto the point. They're not positioning themselves in a way where they're gonna have to worry about that damaging EMP.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be in range of that anytime soon either. Not before this goes down. Maybe if Sleepy gets lucky, he'll be able to hack a health back and get back up towards that ability for overtime.
Oh, Birdring, gotta watch out for the Tracer here. Dante looking for a kill here. Oh, there's a shot. Dante does fall though. Fissure gets him with the Orisa. Now we're down to just a few seconds left. Birdring, if he can find another shot to Baby Bay, it's so close. He can see where he is. There's the EMP coming in again. Midosin though, he's got that Transcendence and he can use it. Kills coming in, and they're going pretty much all London's way. Another kill on Dak. They can't get to it, and once again, San Francisco unable to claim point A on Lunar Colony.
There's just something about this map that is stymieing the San Francisco Shock. They haven't been able to run a successful attack. They've used many different strategies now, but none has been successful. And it's just when it comes to these multi-vectored approaches, when they have to make these flanks, it's something about their communication is preventing them from understanding when to spring these traps, because they have looked very disjointed when they're out of line of sight of each other.
Yeah, you do see their players get picked off on an individual basis an inordinate amount of time compared to other teams attacking on this map. But again, I think you got to give a lot of credit to London. They played that really, really well. The way you saw it, when they had to go to the point to deal with the Tracer, to deal with the Sombra, they would only send a few people into the room actually, so they never really put themselves in a place to get EMP'd the way San Francisco wanted.
Yeah, they were playing the edge, right? Playing around the doorway, making sure they only had one person within the actual open space of the point.
Right.
And that did earn them a lot of advantages, but I think after the failed first attack, when you get that first tick, I think that's when you switch the strategy if you're the San Francisco Shock and try something else. And then doubly so when Baby Bay is getting picked off in your back line, and you know London has an extremely good read on your positioning. There's not really much you can do from that point forward unless you're going to change your tactics, which they did not do successfully. So changing comp at that point, I think, would have been warranted. This time the Shock are going to play with Sombra on defense, something that we've been seeing more recently, particularly from the Gladiators.
Yeah, that's right. Sleepy gonna go ahead and use that one, but again, you can see that little yellow tick on the control meter up at the top of the screen. That's all the farther that London Spitfire needs to get this one to win the map. So once again, they put themselves in a great chance to take a 2-0 lead here in the series. Let's see if they can do it.
And London Spitfire is going to be running the same composition on attack. They've liked to do this, I've noticed, on Horizon when they're very confident. We saw this in their last match as well when they decided to run quad tank in the time bank period. And kind of just show their opponents that they are more skilled at running these compositions.
Looks like Midosin's changing his mind, though. He was heading back to spawn. Yep, changing over that Zenyatta. So they are
not going to do it.
Something, yeah, a bit more normal dive coming in from London Spitfire now.
Yeah, see, the thing is he saw the Sombra, and that means that he's not going to have any packs to hack. So there's not really anything he's going to be able to do.
You know what they say, if no pack to hack, you might as well go back.
Yeah, that's right. Change your attack.
Change your attack. Better go back. Yep.
Baby on the side.
Oh, that's a shot.
They'll be rezzed, but even so, that's one resurrection that is going to be down.
Still feels good, man. Dak not feeling too good, though. His Prophet picks him up. London storming onto the point already here. He's going to get hacked. Can he stay alive? No. Nomi comes in for the save. Fissure up on the high ground now, trying to help Fury out. And they're going to go in after Nomi. A little bit low here. Both tanks down to below half health now. Fissure does fall, courtesy of Sleepy. So San Francisco might be able to stabilize. And yeah, Fury backing away here.
That was a good EMP, actually. It was only the tanks and the supports left, so not anybody to actually help and deal the necessary damage to the enemy tanks to go ahead and take that point. So Bdosin and Nuss find themselves zoned out and looking for another opportunity.
Yep.
Valkyrie is up for Nuss. It's still 40% away for Dak, so this is going to be an excellent time for London to go for the offensive.
Yeah, Birdring going to go ahead and use the Widowmaker ultimate too, just so they can see clearly where everyone is. Sleepy falls early. Fury going in now. They're going to try to trap Nomi, and they do. They cut Nomi off from the rest of his team, and that is devastating. Baby Bay taken down. I don't even think Dak can get back to Resin. No, Dak's dead already. London getting all the kills right now, and as soon as Nevix is dealt with, that may just be the game. San Francisco needs to scramble if they want to get back to the point in time.
Oh, they're not even going to do it. Birdring's already zoning them out. Nomi trying to get back there in time.
I don't think they
Sleepy
can.
might barely make it. He has EMP.
Ooh, here he comes. Can he get there? He barely does. Hack comes in from Sleepy. They got to capitalize. Bdosin falls early as he loses nearly all his health from losing the shields on that hack anyway. Rez comes in though. Bdosin brought back up. They use the self-destruct to push San Francisco back yet again. And now it's No Mean Sleepy on the point, trying to push London back as best they can. Nevix swapped to the Doomfist, but he's already out of commission here. Now the shot comes in. Dak can't survive on the Lucio, and that's going to be it. London Spitfire will pretty much blast their way into a very quick 2-0 lead here in this series.
Yeah, San Francisco Shock really struggling. They haven't even taken a point yet in the first half.
It's looking pretty dominating so far for these guys, but we still have 2 more maps to play. We'll see what happens then, but so far it's been all London.
Yeah, it has been absolutely all London right now, showing off their chops in terms of their target selection and their strategic adaptation, getting some good reads, but also, especially on that last match, San Francisco really did have a good chance to take point A, but they just couldn't quite execute.
Yeah, that's the thing. Execution's going to be the key. We'll see if they pick it up. We're going into halftime after this.
I think it's...
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP. And we are back. It's currently halftime between our first matchup. We got San Francisco Shock down 0-2 against the London Spitfire. Welcome back to the desk, everybody. I'm the host, Chris Puckett, alongside Sideshow and Crumbs. And so far, this has been relatively quick work by the London Spitfire. Let's start things off here going into Icanoball. Now, normally this is a map we see played game 4. It's game 1 to start off week 3, and it looked like London was quite prepared coming in.
They absolutely did. They had the fire coming out, and as soon as Baby Bay sees it, swaps over to the McCree, and Hurek just had an incredible game on this fire. He charges ultimate faster than anybody else, and actually ended up doing at some point around 32% of his team's total damage, which is a huge amount.
Sideshow, why have you been hiding Hurek when he can do this all along?
Well, his Farah is kind of exceptional, but it's the only hero really that he can play better than the other players on his team. You've got Birdring, Rascal, Prophet on there. These are 3 of the best DPS players we have in the league. Hurek has to find a niche, and for now it's his Farah on Icanoball.
That's exactly what we expected of this roster, right? You have 4 superstar talent DPS. Not all of them can play, so you have these eventually that are in the bench fill out these niche roles so that, hey, when Farah needs to be played, they can do it, and they can do it better than anybody else. So the Hanzo main strategies can come out soon, too.
But when we saw the San Francisco Shock trying to attack this Farah defense, I thought that it was a little bit lackluster. They're playing with such slow tempo that they can only really get 3 good pushes out of it because they're so slow to set up into the fights. And because they're taking passive positions with the McCree, again, this kind of protect the Baby Bay kind of thing, that Hurek really doesn't have enough pressure on him, so he can just play wherever he wants, hitting rockets on anybody he likes. So they need to up the tempo in the second half.
What was amazing, when you eventually got Hurek out of the sky, there was a support on the ground doing damage. Bedozin on defense was amazing. In fact, a 2-piece that he got, or 2 kills back-to-back, opened things up and allowed London to control point A. I know you have some stats from us for game number 1. What did you see from the Zenyatta?
Well, from the Zenyatta in the first defense for the London Spitfire, he actually ended up doing 6 final blows and only 1 death, contrasting Sleepy's 1 final blow and 5 deaths, as well as doubling his healing and doubling his damage. So you pretty much want Bedozin on your team at this point. You can see right there, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but when you compare it to how quick that game was, these stats are crazy good.
And that's just on defense. 6 final blows as Zenyatta on defense. He was a key fixture for the squad.
He really was. And we think about guys like Jonak when we're talking about standout Zenyatta players we've seen so far in the Overwatch League. But Bedozin's focused way more on actually getting kills, whereas Jonak's focused on getting damage, bursting down tanks, helping his team charge up his ultimate. Bedozin's all about the clutch, man. He was going for those final kills, and he helped out his team. There were 2 key fights where he was able to get multi-kills that completely saved it for his team. So having that kind of clutch player on support is unbelievably good.
It's a big deal when you're dealing out with the Tracer as well. He was actually able to kill Dante a couple of times, and when he's trying to make his own, carve his own path as a Tracer player, and now he has to not only deal with Tracers, the Faras, and now the Zenyatta is gunning for you, it becomes pretty tough.
Well, we talked about the impact that we saw from the DPS player Hurek, the support player Bedozin, but we have to highlight their diva once again because Fury has been on point in both games, and it all started with a strong performance back on Icanoball.
Yeah, I want to highlight this play because it's so great. This is San Francisco retreating after they just picked off the Winston. They're thinking maybe we could go in now, but London knows that they need to get this rest going. Mercy can't go by alone, so you have Fury go in and help her. You have the defense matrix there to allow the Mercy to be their safety. That's what teamwork is all about. Sure, it's Mercy that is rezzing somebody, but you need your diva, your tanks to create that zone so that these plays can happen. It happens with the support here, but it happens all over with the DPS as well.
All right, well, of course, at the end of that game, you saw Fury and his self-destruct. That's what sealed the deal. You killed the enemy Mercy. You made sure you locked down the point. Game number 1 in favor of the London Spitfire. And here is a look at it one more time. We're going to be keeping our eyes on Fury throughout. A perfectly placed Diva Bomb is going to clear the air, and that is going to lock it up for our Spitfire. Moving on to game number 2 as this highlight closes out, Sideshow. I have to ask you, what did you expect to see from Fury when he was on the Roadhog instead of the Diva?
He does have a very good Roadhog. What makes Fury so good is that, yes, he's defensively minded in some sense with his Diva. He gets a lot of value out of the defense matrix and doesn't quite play it as aggressively as some of the other guys, but his Roadhog is fantastic. He's a bit like Meko for NYXL. He just seems to play all of these off tanks to such a high level. So the guy was coming out with clutch hooks there too, but in general, I've got to say, the same trend is continuing. San Francisco Shock are really struggling on Horizon.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Horizon Lunar Colony. That was map number 2, and once again, it's all London from the get-go. Birdring on the Widowmaker, one of the best snipers we've seen in the league so far.
So when we saw San Francisco come out with this offense on the first attempt, I was already thinking this one is not going to work because they were just attempting a regular dive. After they realized, okay, this is not going to work, we need to switch it up, Sleepy goes over to the Sombra and was unable to actually finish the point on the EMP, which is really unfortunate as that's typically the timing window that you have. One EMP, you take the point, but he gets enough time to build up a second one, and it's just so unfortunate that Birdring also gets his wall hacks, and the Sombra play, it just falls apart.
Sideshow, the streak continues now for San Francisco Shock. You still haven't taken point A. What do you fix after reviewing the VODs?
Well, the strange thing for me is the word you used there was unfortunate, and I really think that some of the San Francisco Shock pushes here were a little unfortunate as well. Their setups were much better than what we've seen in the past, I think, where they were just attempting kind of running into a brick wall kind of dive strategies. They had this setup at the beginning where they're running the Tracer around as well as the Sombra, trying to draw people back to the point. But London, because they're running a Junkrat, have got the ability to try and block that and run a 2v1 essentially because he can just zone them out. And the clutch plays coming out from London saved them time and again. We've got some replays of some clutch moments that came out towards the latter half of it. And even though their setup is going pretty well, you can't possibly take it when you're losing the 1v1s repeatedly. But Dosen gets a pick on Dante. This is the next part of the fight as well. We've got Birdring popping up in the back and picks on Baby B and Sleepy. And then Fury's playing like this. Like, even if your setup's good, you still have to have individual performance.
You're highlighting Birdring against Baby Bay. So Widow versus Widow, just to give you an idea of how lopsided that was. Birdring killed Baby Bay 6 times. How many do you think he killed Birdring?
I'm gonna go with a donut here.
Oh, it's a 1 though, so a little bit more than that. 0s and 1s.
One off. Well, to be fair to Baby Bay, you are constantly being pressured. It feels like Birdring can just sit back and fire off shots all day long. Let's talk about the future now. You're in the hole 0-2, but this was the same position Valiant was in the matchup from Saturday. So how do you do what the Valiant was able to do and force this to a Game 5 if you're the San Francisco Shock?
So for me, it comes down to the style that you're playing and the tempo you're playing at. You've tried to run these strategies where you're sitting passive and trying to absorb the dive that London sends into you. It's not working. You've got to up the tempo. We want to see people like Baby Bay on, for example, the Genji. See if that works out for you. If he's playing Pharah on one of these control maps, that might work out. Dante's got to be buying space, playing a bit more aggressively away from his team. Keep London Spitfire under pressure, and they won't be able to wreck you like this.
You mentioned up the tempo, but you cannot forget that we're going into control, and this is the time for Doc to shine on his Lucio. That's where you can really take this pick out. Exactly. Speed up the tempo, and most of all, don't die. It's a lot easier for him to not die on the Lucio as it is on the Mercy, so you can just help your team out. You passively heal. You don't even have to actually do anything. You're just chilling there. You're helping your team out. It's the hands-off support.
We're going into Oasis for map number 3. Do you put Hurek back in the line if you're the London Spitfire? You got a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Oasis is a great map for him. He's already shown that he can play a phenomenal Pharah. You've got either Prophet or Birdring on the floor on Tracer. I think this is a great look for London Spitfire that we haven't seen from them so far. And for now, San Francisco don't have an answer. I would actually like to see Baby Bay on the Pharah, try and take him out the fight in some sense.
Chrome's final thoughts here. You're a San Francisco fan. You're sitting at home, and you're bummed by the first half performance. How do you turn this around in the second half? One player to look out for.
One player, I'm going to go for Nevix. Flex might be the key factor here, especially if you can get a Roadhog. Roadhog against dive is very powerful.
All right, keep your eyes on Nevix. We'll see if he can get the job done. San Fran needs a big Game 3. It's coming up on the other side of this break. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
goes Nevix.
Showing why he is the star player of this team.
London decided to use everything on that attack.
San Francisco Shock has a very good chance to hold right now.
Follow-up does come through from the Spitfire.
Oh, taken out by Dante, though.
And look at how much space Hureg has.
Great pick for San Francisco.
As this May has worked out quite well for the Spitfire.
Welcome back to the beautiful Blizzard East Course Arena here in Burbank, California. Don Monte Cristo here, and you are in the middle of San Francisco versus London. And right now, London looking pretty dominant, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think London have had about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes of total attack time and has won both maps so far. We don't have any substitutions, so we're going to see what we get on Oasis, although both of these teams have been playing Oasis in an unconventional way recently, especially Gardens, typically where we always see the Pharah. Recently, these teams have played Tracer McCree if you're San Francisco Shock. They played Zarya, Reinhardt, Ana versus the Fuel if you're the London Spitfire. You're less concerned about the Pharah when you're playing against the Fuel, but even so, it's been a little weird. It's been a little weird. So I'm excited to see if we go to Gardens, are we going to see more of these unconventional strategies?
And control maps have a history of kind of being the equalizer, right? These are the maps where your star players can really show their stuff. And as strong as London looks, you still have to respect players like Baby Bay, obviously. Dante has been coming up a bit. Nomi's been looking a bit better. And you never know when Sleepy's just going to dome you with some chrome orbs, so you got to be careful.
Sleepy has been playing well today. Overall, nearly actually saving his team on Icanoball in that map, but just wasn't quite enough to put them over the top. It will actually be University as our first point here.
True enough.
And that usually means we see more tank-heavy compositions to play around the lower ceiling, as well as these choke points.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, I really like this point, actually. It brings out a lot of different compositions compared to what we see on other maps because of the dominance of the choke point. So I think we can expect to see some Reinhardt here, perhaps. As,
possibly.
Yeah, some Reinhardt, some Zarya, Roadhog, or you run the Orisa Roadhog combination. Also very frequently, Shock in the past on this point have been leaning on Orisa, Roadhog, and Junkrat. But with Fisher in the lineup, you never know when you're going to get that Reinhardt out.
Well, Fisher certainly does have a long history of being an extremely good Reinhardt player. So if there's any point on any map you're going to see him do it on, this would be one of the most likely ones. But for now, as you can see, hovering over that Winston, which he has become pretty proficient on, I'd say.
And it's going to be just a dive composition here on University for the London Spitfire.
Why not? Baby Bay on that Junkrat. And he's had some pretty incredible Junkrat rounds lately, too. So will it be enough to take on London? Not so sure, but we'll see. It's a good pick for him lately, though.
Yeah, and so they are going to run with a Tracer as well. So actually, we're not going to see some of those zoning tanks that have the big crowd control ultimates like the Zarya.
Zoning DPS instead. Go.
Zoning DPS instead. This is going to be an immediate attack around the back side. So wrapping all the way around.
Yep, that's right.
Are the Spitfire back towards Dante. They don't get much accomplished, though, but the teams have swapped sides of the map.
London repels it a little bit now. San Francisco on the point. They're going to try to claim it first. They've nearly got it here as London comes in. Nevix trying to punish Fissure a little bit. They can't quite do it. Nomi the one who falls first out of the two Winstons. Baby Bay trapped in that room here. He does get the trap onto the opposing Winston, but doesn't get the kill. And London Spitfire kind of grinding this one out to take the first point here. They've got that control percent building.
And that was just great zone control from London.
Yeah.
Slowly pushing out, and San Francisco afraid to pull the trigger and play aggressively, which means Fisher is often the first time to dive in. But Prophet immediately on his heels with the Genji dash, helping him to take out Nomi. And there's such a big arc of San Francisco Shock players, they weren't able to respond or collapse onto the aggressive front line that London was pulling out. And here we go, already a Dragon
Blade. He takes
and that's
out
a splash on the tire.
See that more and more lately, and then he takes out the Omnic Monk as well. Great ult for Prophet right off the bat here. Dak bringing a couple people up though, so London not out of this one just yet, and they have a couple kills to push this with.
Yeah, Nuss already in his ultimate as well, trying to use that, but 6 versus 5 on the point here in favor of San Francisco. Birdring needs to make it back.
Yeah, that's right. Prophet trying to stay alive here. There's the reflect. He gets the heals just in time as the Transcendence comes in. Has to run away from the self-destruct for the moment though. Nomi a little bit separated from the rest of his team. He's going to get the kill on Nuss though, so it's all worth it. San Francisco still scrambling to try to flip this point back into their favor. Prophet firing away, Baby Bay nearly down. He's got the heals from Mercy though, and Prophet can't stay up. San Francisco, they've got a real opportunity here.
Yeah, it was only Birdring and Prophet up at the end of that fight. No heals, so the point will flip over in favor of San Francisco. Prophet reaching up to get another Dragon Blade pretty soon. Everybody dumping all of their ultimates in that last engagement, but San Francisco managing to make this point a match, really.
I think you're pretty happy, though, if you're London. You've got a lot of percent built up already. Here comes Baby Bay's Riptire, though, got slashed out of the air by the Genji ultimate last time, and this time, will it find its mark? It will. Bidosin lurking on the outside, got tracked down, got eliminated. And so,
forces the resurrect. So it is buying them a little bit of time, but not a whole lot.
Yep.
Prophet still looking for the opportunity to use the Dragon Blade. Dak already has a Valkyrie.
Could be a big pulse bomb coming in. Maybe wants to stick to the Fury. We'll see. Waiting for it now. There's 2 kills from Prophet's Dragon Blade already, though. So in the back lines of this fight, things have been going well for London. Dak with that Valkyrie, though, brings Baby Bay and Sleepy right back up again. Of course, Dante is still waiting for it. There we go. There's the stick. Fissure taken out. Birdring does fall, though. And San Francisco getting the kill, well, until right now, though. Again, Mercy ults making the difference. Who would have thought as Fissure and Birdring return to the fray? Nomi diving deep, though, trying to get onto that vulnerable back line. Dante and Sleepy fall, though. He can't protect his back line and attack the back line of London at the same time, and they will suffer for it. Point retaken by Spitfire.
And target calling on that attack by London, exquisite. They get the 2 kills they need and force the earlier Valkyrie. Then they double back towards their own base to start grabbing kills on the tank line. And at that point, they have their own Valkyrie available for the players they've lost, coming out with a huge advantage due to the later timing of that support ultimate.
Close call there. Dante almost nailed with the ult fire. Bidosin there. Wait for it, there we go, finds Dax, takes him out of the air. Swag walks in with his Transcendence up, and London, oh, there's 2, and he got the Riptire again! That is 2 Riptires cut out of the air by Prophet this round. Are you kidding me? San Francisco nearly flipping the point here, but we're into OT, they finally get it. Close call, and despite Prophet's heroics, he can't keep the point alive here.
Yeah, Prophet just being a punk, slashing some tires.
No kidding, man.
Still alive, though, and Dak is still trying to get back. Prophet will finish him off, and this is just cleanup right now.
Oh, this has been the Prophet show this round, man. He's done so well. They haven't flipped it back, though. Yep, San Francisco still has a point for the moment. Bidosin on to 76, trying to get back to the point as fast as he can here. His teammate gets killed, though. Nomi does fall. And OT ticking away. Can Dak do anything with this? Not quite. They do get Nevix in there, but he can't survive very long, and that should be about it. It's clean up now, and London Spitfire will take the first point here on Oasis.
A competitive round, however, with San Francisco getting all the way back up to 90%, falling back away from the pressure, but that last push really shows you how good the Spitfire are at executing that dive. They 6-man dove onto the side of, on San Francisco's side of the map to kill their supports right as that battle was beginning.
No kidding. I don't think I've ever seen a Genji slash 2 Riptires out of the air before in one round. That is a new one for me. Pretty incredible stuff. We've got a little bit of a pause here as we try to figure out what's going on. Looked like it was maybe Birdring with the computer issue.
That's right. And well, we are going to be going to City Center next, which is unfortunately not what I wanted to see with some of the, well, we'll see. We might get the map 3, but I am curious what both of these teams would run on Garden, since both of them have not been running so much of the FAR recently. Rascal did run it one time, but without Hureg or Rascal on the roster for the London Spitfire, they have been trending towards more of these lower mobility heroes and methodical high ground control. But yeah, maybe we'll see some of that on City Center as well.
We could, man. I mean, San Francisco, despite getting that high percentage on the last map, I mean, what Prophet did to that team has got to even be a little bit demoralizing, man. I mean, especially for Baby Bay, he's had such great Junkrat performances lately, and then to lose 2 ultimates like that, that's stings a little bit.
Yeah, it does, but he was also still getting some of the picks off at the start of fights with the mines, so I think, you know, for all things considered, it was an okay performance by him. A lot of the problems, I think, are still Dak, who has been struggling, dying early in some of these engagements or getting picked off. Now, obviously, it's not all of Dak's fault because he's not getting a lot of counter dive from his tanks trying to deal with it.
Sure.
And I think that's the tactic they have to take now. If you are going to be San Francisco Shock, you need to make sure that when you're dealing with this dive composition that's been effective, that you're going to be falling back very quickly and trying to force them to commit support ults to engage into you, and then coming back with your own support ults in response, which has been the more effective way of playing anti-dive in Overwatch. And whether you're going to use the Junkrat or the McCree to try and set up some of that crowd control, that's the question. But I really think that Nevix and Nomi just need to be more responsive to the engagements that are coming out of London.
Absolutely. It sounds like it's a monitor issue for Bird Ring, so while we get that sorted out, just chill out. Just chilling out with Doe and Monte Cristo. It's fun.
It's been a fast match anyway. So.
But you're right, though. I mean, that's the thing. As a support main, it hurts my soul a little bit. I have a soft spot for Dak and the other supports that don't have any peel, because there's a guy you may know named Chris Puckett, who's a diva player, and he's a decent diva player, but he tends to be a very aggressive diva player. And as a Zenyatta main, that leaves me on my own a lot of times. And, you know, while I can kill maybe 2 of the DPS on the enemy team, we're talking about the rank ladder and around Platinum, so you can guarantee that there's at least 3 DPS on each team, and the third one is the one that'll kill me every time. So, you know, Puckett, just...
It's true.
A little bit closer
Just bring it back. Just bring it back.
A little bit back, yeah, that's right. We appreciate it, yeah. So I feel for Dak, basically. If it's not the cars, it's the enemy tanks, so it's tough, you know.
Yeah, Sideshow did bring up on the desk as well that this is an instance of San Francisco playing a very defensive style, but in some ways you need to double down on that even more and make sure that when the dive is coming in, you know exactly how it's going to come in. I think part of the problem is still that unfortunately they're not keeping very good track of their enemies' ultimates, although it was hard because Prophet got his Dragon Blade up so quickly at that point.
Really fast.
To start up with, you don't necessarily expect it to be right there as the second engagement is beginning.
And we have some clips of that too, some clips of Prophet's Genji extraordinary play. Yeah, not sure how that sentence worked out. Here we go. Check it out. Taking down Baby Bay. And of course, that's me right there, see? Only Sleepy's a little bit better. A little bit better, but...
Well, Diva can't save you from that.
You know, and he actually saw the Junkrat trap too, which is something that no one else ever sees in the game, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why they're paid to play the game, though. We're paid to talk about it.
They are quite good at playing Overwatch, what do you know? Yeah.
What a surprise.
What a surprise, yeah. Well, still working on Bird Ring's monitor situation. It sounds like it's almost resolved, though, so we should be back in the game pretty soon here. And this is a nice thing for San Francisco, too, because after a round like that was kind of close, you know, everything is very intense, and this gives you a chance to kind of calm down, chat with your team a little bit, and say, all right, what can we do better to take this one? We are going to be back in the game right now, so let's get it started here on City Center, a reprieve for San Francisco Shock as we get that tech issue fixed. But now they have to face the London Spitfire one more time here, and they better win this round here too, otherwise Oasis is over.
And as we see right there, Prophet's kill to death ratio was 10-1 on University, as we expect, given the performance he showed us on that point. And now London's going to change well, they actually are going to change something. Bird Ring going to be on the McCree this time, so both players looking to control that high ground with the McCree. I thought London would just keep running with that dive, considering how successful it was for them, but both teams going to be playing pretty far on the perimeter.
They've still got a good amount of diving pressure between the tanks and Prophet, so you know, it's nice to have that McCree to handle the dive coming at you. Ooh, as he picks away at Nomi. And then if they run the Pharah, you know, if Baby Bay pulls that out, you've got an answer to it in the McCree, so.
Well, the problem is that San Francisco gave up that high ground early with the mirror composition, so they're not able to really put any pressure on the point.
Well, Sleepy finds that pick on Abidosis. He's been very good about doing that with the Zenyatta himself. Now this is going to bring his Zen back up again here in London, backing off and regrouping just a little bit here. They've already got some control percent building here.
Sleepy, that's a good pickoff because there is no resurrection available right now, and Baby Bay will find Bird Ring, so San Francisco patiently coming onto the point right now. They give up 20%, but they're going to get more.
Edge for San Francisco here as they try to claim it. They will flip the point here. Fury taken down as well, so that's going to be a full reset for London Spitfire. Great fight for San Francisco Shock. Really got to give Sleepy a lot of credit for that one to find those picks.
Yeah, Sleepy's been keeping San Francisco in these games.
Oh, yeah.
We started in the preseason taking a look at Sleepy and his very high number of Zenyatta kills, saying, look at this rookie, he's never played on stage before and he's already delivering. Struggled a little bit out of the gate at the start of this season, maybe peaking a bit too much, but now he's back up and netting a lot of these kills, and there's not a lot of pressure to put on the Zenyatta this time without the dive composition there, so they have to be careful around some of these angles.
Yep, that's right, drops down. And Baby Bay coming from on high here. He's got the Deadeye if he wants to use it. Needs to worry about the Winston though. Nice flashbang. Fissure picked out of the air. Gorilla shouldn't be up there anyway though. He deserved it. Baby Bay waiting, gets a shot off, but doesn't get any kills out of that one. Vidosin brought to about half health. Fissure back in action again. Baby Bay trying to keep it safe here. They're up to 50 control % already, so London biding their time a bit, waiting for a couple more ults before they really commit here.
Yeah, Valkyrie pop for Nuss.
There's one.
Not very much value. Self-destruct tossed in. Not gonna get any kills. And now the re-engagement coming with Sleepy on the Transcendence.
Yeah, they're gonna just jump right in. They're gonna get the Transcendence out of London Spitfire side too. Oh, McCree Battlement Burgering is gonna lose. Baby Bay takes him out. Prophet coming for a bit of revenge, but has to give that one up. Fury zoning out the McCree just a bit here. Baby Bay still has to worry about the dive coming in, but he escapes. Great round for Baby Bay so far here. Worrying about the rampaging Winston, but Fissure has to rejoin his team here. Dante is taken out on the side. Oh, 2 kills for Vidosin on that Zen. The Zens have really came to play on this point in particular.
Yes, they have. And Nevix is going to find himself desuited at the end of this engagement. It is cleaned up now for the London Spitfire as they're going to flip this point right as it hits 99.
Yeah, that's right. And so, San Francisco Shock at 99% here. They've got some time to build some ults to regroup and do another dedicated attack here. Let's watch that highlight from Vidosin. Of course, gets a kill on Dante as he's dove. A little bit of protection from Fury here, but Baby Bay not expecting that 180 ult fire coming out of Zen. And yeah, these guys, this is a round I like.
This is a great round so far. And
oh, yeah.
San Francisco, they've got time. A couple more attacks. So they need to work down the ult economy here in the London Spitfire. Try and get some of these out. High Noon not going to be hitting much.
Well, he did demech Nevix. Baby Bay softened up enough for Vidosin to get yet another kill.
Nuss also used his Valkyrie, so that's the time for San Francisco Shock to back off right now. They know they have another opportunity to make a push. Don't be overly aggressive. You got what you came for, which is one of the support ultimates. Baby Bay trying to punish with a Deadeye from spawn. He probably will swap after this.
You can't dodge Deadeye like that, Fury. Come on.
Actually, he's gonna stick on to the McCree, so just trying to punish there with the Deadeye as opposed to using it to zone out as we are gonna move closer to a 99-99 match.
Well, London was pushed up so far. I thought maybe he thought he could pick something there, but no such luck. Now they're coming in. Nuss goes down. There's some good luck for San Francisco.
Yeah, but only San Francisco has the Valkyrie, so it's going to be difficult for London to recover from this early pickoff.
That's the idea, man. They flip it back. OD ticking away. Have San Francisco won this round? Maybe if they can kill Prophet Fury, they will have done just that. Fury off the point. OD ticking away, and that will be good. Yes, it will. San Francisco takes City Center. They are still in this one.
They are, though. A much better play on that round, and there wasn't the same backline pressure thanks to Baby Bay and Sleepy picking up a lot of the early kills. And for the San Francisco Shock, this is the map you come in and you think you can beat London on. London lost both of their games on Oasis last week, so they haven't looked the strongest on this one, and they're not running their players like Hureg that are suited to playing the Pharah, and we are going to get my wish, which is eventually heading into Gardens, and
I'm so happy for you.
I'm happy for me.
Hooray!
And it looks like it'll just be a dive composition again. Nuss switching over to the Lucio, and Baby Bay will be trying out the Pharah here on their first push into the point.
Yeah, Dak's going to get everybody to the point nice and fast, make sure that they can play it from the defender's perspective. Important when you have that Pharah. Take the high ground early. Here comes a dive from London, the characteristic aggression from those guys. Dak trying to boot people off the edge. He's got to deal with that Tracer, though. Burgering very annoying, but has to recall. And they've got the high ground. They've been holding it pretty well so far.
Yeah, they resisted the dive by falling back and keeping the Pharah up over the edge of the map and dealing a lot more damage to the concentrated members of the London Spitfire. Prophet goes down first on the Genji, and the flip in San Francisco's favor.
Great start for San Francisco. I love the strategy, using the Lucio to get there really fast, getting the Pharah in position before anyone else can react, and they played the defense great.
As they have, they look much more comfortable, at least on this point, against the dive composition than we saw previously, just playing with the space on the back side of the point where the Genji and the Tracer simply can't reach you without falling off the edge of the map.
Nice stick onto Fury. Did he get the DMAC? Not quite sure. No, not quite. Not enough damage. There's the DMAC now, so no more Diva suit for London. One tank out of the way. Dak taken down. Rez, though. Nomi comes back up as well. There's a kill on the Prophet. So it looks like San Francisco, with a bit of help from these support ultimates, is going to hold. That's a late Transcendence coming in from the Dosen after losing a few people. I don't know if that one's worth it. Yeah, they're going to want that one back.
London needs to change their strategy. They have no pressure on Baby Bay right now due to his positioning. Yeah. Nobody can hurt him while he has the Mercy, and he's flying out over the edge of the map. So when you don't have that pressure, it's really easy for him to control the choke points coming into the point. If you try and dive onto that high ground, you're going to take a huge amount of rocket damage. Fury, again, finished off and staggered late as he goes back.
Badly staggered.
He's gonna have to recover his mech. He gets res, so that's one resurrection down now. Nuss is not going to be able to reset that with a Valkyrie. And London struggling hard, and San Francisco in dominant control at this point.
Oh, Dosen very low. That's a dangerous moment, and that's why Dante comes in, finishing off the damage that Baby Bay put down. Great start for San Francisco right off the bat here.
Yeah, Birdring had to switch to the McCree, but that should have happened much earlier in this map.
There's the DMAX self-destruct use. Baby Bay barely gets out of there. Oh, he turns around right for the barrage. Birdring taken out with a bit of help from his friends.
Prophet coming in with a Dragon Blade, but he's going to have to do some work. Dak is the first to fall.
That's a great start. Dak is a good first kill. There goes Nomi. Prophet making this Genji out work for him. Has to dodge out of that self-destruct. Can he get in there? Onto the Diva? Not quite. Nevic's low, though. Maybe they can take him out, but no, San Francisco holding strong. That just may be it.
Doa, they tried to get the picks off on that fight, but Birdring was dead on the McCree. Birdring was walking back from spawn.
Yeah.
So even though they had a man advantage, there was nobody to kill the Pharah, and it was just cleanup from Baby Bay. Man, they made that easy, but San Francisco executing that time.
Yeah, San Francisco will take Oasis, and they are keeping themselves alive in this match. If they can win the next one, we can still go to that tiebreaker.
We definitely can, Doa. And now we're going to see the switched escort map to seal things for this match. Potentially it will be on Junkertown.
That's right. So finishing things up with our escort map now, switching it up from now on here in Overwatch League. Hybrid first, escort last. Don't go anywhere. This series is far from over, guys. We'll be back right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP and by Intel.
league that offers opportunity for talented competitors to test and push our assumptions about how the game is meant to be played.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you live from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
The Overwatch League represents a different direction than esports have taken in the past. A global community of professionals for a truly global league.
Welcome back, guys. We are going to Junkertown for our Escort map. If you're just joining us, we swapped up the map order just a little bit. Escort, that's my swapping.
Just a swap.
Swapping it up.
He does that
Escort.
whenever a player swaps too in game.
That's
he
right.
Starts
Like,
windmilling.
you don't see it, but that's what I'm doing back here, backstage. Little behind the scenes peek there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, if Monte Cristo would let me, is that shut up. Shut up, Monte! Escort is last now, and the hybrid is first, is what I'm saying. You don't need to shut up. I respect what you say, Monte.
Oh, thank you very much. I respect what you say too, Dell.
Kids, don't tell each other to shut up. It's very rude. You're such a bad influence, Monty. Stop doing that.
Yeah, stop doing that. It's all my fault as usual.
It is, yes.
Well, coming to Junkertown, this is actually one of my favorite maps to watch London play because they like to run Reaper on attack with things such as Ana and Reinhardt's 4.A when typically a lot of teams are running, of course, the double snipers with the Hanzo and the Widowmaker with the Bastion naturally as well, but they sort of just run at you on this map when they're on attack and try and tank bust. Prophet's found some creative places to teleport to try and get behind enemy lines and take out supports on the playing that Reaper. So
yeah,
definitely a different look from these guys. Dak can
be fun
on the Reaper right now. I assume that is a shout out to the London Spitfire's attack rounds, and
could be.
We're not going to end up playing that. Do expect to see. Of course, who's going to stand on top of the motorcycle right now within the spot?
Are Omnics allowed to drive? I don't know. I mean, I guess if Bastion turns into a tank, he's driving himself, but are they allowed to drive other vehicles?
I don't know. Do Omnics have driver's licenses? These are the questions we're here to ask, Doa.
Do they have rights? I don't know. The people of London in Overwatch would say no, apparently.
I think Omnic rights seems like a big issue within the world of Overwatch.
Yeah. You know, are they sentient? You know, Bastion sure likes that little bird that woke him up. You know?
That bird was a jerk, by the way. It woke him up and it nearly...
That's true.
...resulted in the deaths of many people.
That bird was nearly responsible for a great tragedy, but it's okay. He turned out okay. Well, here we go. San Francisco on the attack one more time, trying to push that payload and keep themselves alive in this 4-map series. Dante on the side with that Hanzo. They've been using this lately. It's been going pretty well. It's a double sniper look from San Francisco.
Yeah, meanwhile, will be Fisher and Fury trying to play around some of these corners. They will attempt to use the halt from Orisa to drag somebody out from behind a barrier and get a pick. And right now, everybody falling back right now, so they're not going to play in the choke point. But Dosen on the flank, actually, he takes out Dak. He came around the far side and just sniped Dak behind the cart.
The Zenyatas have really been popping off this match altogether. You got to watch out for that flanking Zenyatta. Hanzo and Widowmaker aren't the only two snipers on the field.
That's going to be it. That's going to be it for the first attack here.
Ouch.
Thanks to Medosin, he killed Baby Bay as well. So Dak and Baby Bay both falling to a Zenyatta flank. He was on the far right side of the building you see on the screen right now.
I mean, those orbs don't have fall-off damage, so you can be far away, and if you're accurate, you can easily take out snipers if they aren't moving too fast.
Well, the other aspect of this is, though, is that there's no way for San Francisco to punish that positioning. They're not running any high-mobility heroes that can immediately dive onto that flank, so Medosin's pretty safe.
You got to snipe
to do that.
You got to snipe him, and that's exactly what Baby Bay just did.
Well, he knew where Medosin was positioned this time, so makes the adjustment and gets the necessary kill.
Yep. Oh, what another hook on the Nevix, brings him down. And a lot of damage there. Sleepy does fall, so San Francisco without their Bastion at the moment. Prophet resurrected.
Medosin just soloed Baby Bay again on the side of the point. Baby Bay was trying to cover the main attack.
And Dante, Medosin killed both snipers again.
Medosin's been popping off today, Noah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He has been saving his team in many of these battles, and his accuracy is a very good reason behind the... Yeah, watch this. No problem. Let's go ahead, punish the reload.
Give me another one.
And popping around the corner with a swift right click to take both the Hanzo and the Widowmaker out of commission. Dak is coming back in though, and he is the one with the Valkyrie advantage, so looks like strong push can be had here by the Shock.
Oh, Baby Bay finds the kill on the bird ring there. San Francisco moving things ahead a little bit. Sleepy, resurrected, Prophet just waiting with that tire. Wait for it, wait for it. And over the top, can he get them there? No, he can't. Nevix kills the tire. Sleepy coming in with the Bastion ult, but he's under 100 HP. Needs to be careful. There's a nice hook. Fury on his own. Nevix takes him down. And San Francisco, with that supercharger now from Nomi, have a chance to push this payload.
Yeah, they waited for the supercharger to fall from Fisher before pushing forward themselves. And finally, it's like San Francisco is going to break this defense.
Yeah, that should be it, as long as they can finish off Prophet here, which can be challenging from time to time, but Dosen, oh, there's a hunt. Whoa, I can fly. Well, and now here's where it gets a little bit scary if you're London too, because when the momentum gets going on Junkertown, it can be very hard to stop.
Yeah, it can be though, but they delayed so much on that first point. There's only 3 minutes here into point B, and there's not going to be an opportunity for the Shock to go ahead and take control of this high ground with Prophet and Bedosin returning. So the setup here that we typically see around the U-bend is not going to happen, particularly with Dante falling early.
Yeah, good start. Oh, look out, Bedosin. Look out. Out. There's another shot. No, stay alive. Baby Bay goes in for the kill. Ooh, that was very optimistic, Baby Bay. I don't know about that one there. Because you're taken out, and it looks like London, if they can handle the whole hog from Nevix, which they absolutely can, courtesy of Bird Ring, I mean, should be able to hold here.
There's no movement on this cart either. That's the thing, is that everybody was all-inning on the high ground from the Shock. So they sent everybody there to try and take control of the high ground, but in the meantime, they lose that fight, and the payload literally doesn't move at all.
Wow, that is really rough. I mean, it's okay to commit and just let that payload sit there if you can quickly win a fight and take the high ground, but it's a risk, right? If you don't, we see what happens. The payload just doesn't move and you get delayed way worse than if you would have just kept somebody on.
Dak already popping the Valkyrie though. They really want to win this fight. Nuss is going to match him.
Yeah, Fury brought back up again. Trying to keep people alive here. Baby Bay brought back up as well. Prophet gets a kill on the Dak. Finds the Mercy in the air. So there's one support down. Dante gets Bird Ring. Baby Bay trying to look for more kills around the flank here. He's got his Dragon Blade, but I don't know, does he have a position to really use this right now? It might be tough.
Fury has to fall back because he's low, but that's going to provide a lot of ultimate charge here for Nuss to try and get back in, and now they're going to play around this Dragon Blade.
Oh, going after the Roadhog first is Brave. Cuts down the supercharger, backs away, 12 HP. He goes down, Bird Ring with the kill right there. And there's the stick. Did he get him? Yeah, Nuss comes in for the res, and Dante's ready with that pulse bomb from Tracer.
Yeah, there's still going to be a player down there, so San Francisco Shock waiting for Nomi to return. Nevix gets hooked in and taken out, so everybody from San Francisco needs to peel back now. Dante's trying to play the back line and cut off reinforcements. He's looking for Nuss, he's looking for Bedosin, but Bird Ring is right there with him.
1 minute left for San Francisco now in their attack, and like you said, point A took so long that you run out of time very quickly in point B and C, and the thing is that even if they manage to take point B, point C is really one of those ones in this game where you need a lot of time to take it. Any team does. Such a grind. Transcendence.
Well, that's Bolt.
Nuss doesn't get caught.
Yeah, that's the trance forced out though, so Bird Ring's gonna be happy with the effect of that pulse bomb.
Sure enough, Bedosin firing away at Nevix. Whoa, with that Orb of Discord, he's doing a lot of damage. There's the D-Nut. He turns and gets a kill on Dante. Man, Bedosin is a star right now.
He has been crushing it in this series, dealing an immense amount of damage.
No kidding.
He was the second biggest damage dealer, at least when I was checking it out on point A of Icanoball, so...
I'm at this point, I'm like, Bedosin, man, slow down. Don't get this guy nerfed, please.
Transcendence still up, so one last attack here for the San Francisco Shock to see if they can make it through point B and get some more time in the bank.
Prophet's got that Riptire. A pick here would be absolutely huge. Waiting for it, waiting. Going up high. Can he find him? He finds Dak again. He's been so good at picking that Mercy out of the air, and he comes up big once more. Nomi falls. That's a takedown too. And Bedosin firing on high. No pressure on this Zenyatta at all. There's a kill to Nevix. It's a pause, but we're into OT. Ooh, this is interesting because
you never like to see a pause like that, but
no.
right now on San Francisco, it's only Baby Bay on Genji and Sleepy on the Zenyatta that are actually contesting or close to the payload. So effectively, that fight was over, and we probably were going to look at a pretty rapid defense there from the London Spitfire and a hold at point B. So
yeah, again, I mean, as good as Sleepy and Baby Bay are, there's just not a lot they can do.
It was a 2v6.
Yeah,
it was a 2v6. Also, Sleepy is not even close to the payload right now. He was trying to fire over the card.
Nuss has Valkyrie up too, so I mean, good luck damaging through that. There's only a 2-man unit, so we'll have to see what that pause is. Not quite sure what it is just yet, but hopefully it's nothing too insane here, as that round looked pretty much over. So.
Yeah, and that's a strong hold. And going back to San Francisco's decision to not go ahead and push the cart there, that's one of those things where you know that if you can take that high ground, you're gonna have a lot of free movement on the payload. So you make a decision because they already knew they weren't dealing with a lot of time left in the bank due to how long it took them to get through point A.
We're back in. Here we go. And the conclusion is already forewritten, but Bidosin's just gonna get a couple extra swag kills there, and that's the end of round one. San Francisco gets the payload most of the way through point B, but can't quite complete it.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard time for them to hold here on Junkertown.
Sure will, yeah. Well, after a big win on Oasis, this takes the wind out of your sails a little bit, but you can still hold. It's not likely, it's not easy, but it's not unheard of to hold a team before they got stopped, so you never know.
It's interesting to me that this series has also really underscored some of the map weaknesses of these two teams. We haven't had a large sample size previously as we check out some nice Bird Ring highlights, but
I could watch Bird Ring highlights all day, man. This guy's so
I think we
good.
have been. I think that's what's been going on, Duh. I think we have been watching Bird Ring highlights.
Alternating between Bird Ring and some of the Zenyatas.
So as I was saying, now that we have a larger sample size, it is intriguing that we've seen over and over and over again the Shock really suffering and unable to attack Horizon A. And then also, by that same token, Spitfire not having an easy time on Oasis. Losing 3 Oasis maps consecutively is a worrying trend for them.
You know, when you look at these teams too, a lot of people would say, you know, that London's the very aggressive one, San Francisco's the more defensive one, and you know, where San Francisco could benefit from adding a little bit more aggression into their compositions, and some of that comes from proper execution. London, on the other token, could maybe dial it back a little bit, especially on maps like Oasis. We saw opportunities where they could have just sat back, defended, but instead they dove way far forward, got punished for it, lost the map. So I think you're right. I think funny enough, each team could kind of learn from the other in terms of how to sort of polish their own styles a bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree, though. It hasn't been a flawless series from either team by any means. And London Spitfire looks like they are going to be playing with Prophet on the Genji and Bird Ring on the Widowmaker. So it's a bit of a dive composition with the Widow. This is not what we've seen from them previously, preferring to run a slower, more measured approach with the Reaper.
Yep.
Mixing it up, and San Francisco will probably not be the most ready for this style of play.
It's a dangerous moment there for Dak. Bird Ring nearly had a shot above the shield there. Let's see if he can find something on the side. Got to check for that Zenyatta. Dosen, meanwhile, doing his own little flank through the building here, taking that high ground.
And he's going to try and flank all the way back around. He's looking.
Ooh, yeah. He's hunting.
He's hunting for Baby Bay. Sleepy there is cutting off the angle. So Sleepy is trying to match Bidosin right now, make sure that he's not going to get any picks around the side like we saw on the defense from the Spitfire.
He's definitely one of the Zenyatas out there that can do that too. He's been pretty good at hitting those shots on his own. Prophet, waiting for it. Getting over the roof, getting in from behind.
Try and find these supports.
Yeah, that's right, could be in a bit of trouble. Nope, not really. Baby Bay picks him off. That payload is stalled out.
And now they have to run, right? Because there's not going to be an opportunity to get that resurrection. San Francisco knows this, so they just charge on forward and get a couple more kills. Bird Ring will be the next to fall here on the side. Now it's going to take a while now for the members of the Spitfire to get back into position, as San Francisco doing a good job of holding thus far.
Yep, that's right. And they've kept an eye on where Bidosin is going to be. They've protected their supports for the most part. And London Spitfire with 2 minutes now to push it the rest of the way through point A. We don't see payload stalled this much on the first point very often.
Question is, are we going to see this timing window used? It's almost gone now for Nuss to go ahead and use that Valkyrie. They're going to try and charge in. They're just diving the back line. They're trying to get Dak. They get Dak.
There's a Transcendent, Sleeping Dak, both falling. Baby Bay soon to follow. And so they are going to use that Mercy ult and put it to great use, too. That payload's... Oh, Dante, though, with 3 kills with that Riptire. Not enough. Stylish, but can't stop the payload.
No, it's not going to stop the payload at all. Nuss and Bedosen will be back by the time San Francisco can even think about contesting this. There is a Dragon Blade up, but both support ults up for San Francisco. I'm curious if they're going to try and hold here, because they have an opportunity, but if they mess this up, it could be the map.
Oh, hello. All right, well, thanks for the Supercharger. Prophet being a bit sneaky here. Will he pull the Dragon Blade? I think he might, coming into the back. There it is. Yeah, ignores the Mercy for the moment. He knows she's going to fly out there. He's got the damage boost. He's got the heals right now. Can he stay alive? No, he's so low. There is a cut down from Prophet. Needs a bit more, though, but his team coming through in the end. Oh, nice reflect on the Sleepy. Yeah, saw that one coming. And it looks like San Francisco is not going to be able to hold point A.
And absolutely everything in terms of ultimates was invested there by the Shock. They needed to hold on point A, or at least delay them further, because now there's a big snowball coming in from the London Spitfire.
Ooh.
And Prophet
It's only going to get bigger.
Stagger Baby Bay.
Yeah, problems too when you look at Fissure and him having that Primal Rage. That Winston ultimate can be so good at zoning San Francisco away from the payload and helping London get there when they need to finish this map. So everything's certainly going London's way at the moment.
Definitely is. Prophet has been a thorn in their side, hiding. He's been lurking in some of these positions. And
he's a real ninja.
He is a real ninja, destroying that Supercharger quickly and turning the tide of that fight by chasing those supports into the rest of his team with that Dragon Blade.
Nomi taken down again, and Fissure pops that Primal Rage. Dante out of commission as well. Can they find Dak? Looks like Dak is just losing his team around him. Finally, Sleepy comes in with the Transcendence just to delay. There's nobody else to keep alive. And he's finally going to peace out. He's like, I must go. My people need me. And that payload pretty much there. And as Baby Bay falls, that will be the end of the map and the end of the series. London Spitfire will take it 3-1.
They will, though. San Francisco, although they were fighting back after such a lopsided first half, coming back and winning Oasis, and then putting up a good defense at the start of Junkertown. Definitely an encouraging sign.
Yeah, I would say so. And you know, I want to go back to what I said earlier, where I really think both of these teams could learn from each other, right? London could dial it back a bit. Shock could get a little bit more aggressive, get a bit tighter in the execution, and I think if both those things happen, both of these teams will come out of it improved.
Yeah, you really are you start to get scared though when you see the Spitfire play, because the efficiency of their dives and how fast they can get on your back line is absolutely terrifying. That was really what broke the Shock on that defense.
And we've seen Bedosen be a good Zenyatta in the past, but he really took it to the next level again today, man. His play early on Junkertown was really pretty legendary stuff.
I agree. It's a very nice play on Icanoball and on Junkertown for this guy. I'm excited to see what the desk has to say. And
yeah,
he'll be potentially one of the candidates for our MVP of this first match.
I would absolutely agree with that one, yeah. Well, in the meantime, London over San Francisco. Shock 3-1 in map score. Shock having a tough go of it early on, but coming back and making it a match. Don't go anywhere, guys. Our second match of the day coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
Hey guys, this is Zoe and I'm now joined by Fury from the London Spitfire. Please give it up for that young man joining me for a few quick words. First of all, congratulations to you and your team. You are still undefeated in this league. Now, your team basically consists of two different pre-existing rosters, and you're one of the few players who's not been part of either of those rosters before you actually joined London Spitfire. How have you managed to integrate yourself not just so well, but also so quickly?
퓨리 선수 일단 우승을 축하드립니다. 지금까지 무패의 연승을 달리고 계신데 런던 스피파가 이제 두 가지 로스터가 합쳐진 그런 체제를 지니고 있지 않습니까? 이제 하지만 퓨리 선수는 두 가지 로스터에도 포함이 되지 않고 이제 런던 스피파가 만들어졌을 때 그 조인을 하게 되셨는데 어떻게 아직까지 이렇게 융합을 하고 팀원들과 잘 어울리고 계신지 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
일단 처음에는 되게 막 선수들 제가 만약에 처음 혼자잖아요 저는. 그래서 선수들이 워낙 막 성격도 좋고 그리고 선수들이 그냥 맞춰온 거에 저는 약간 제 역할만 충실히 다할 뿐이라서 그냥 되게 처음에 걱정 많이 했는데 걱정 외로 그냥 좀 잘 적응했고 또 앞으로도 제 역할만 다 충실히 하면은 이렇게 좋은 경기 결과 얻을 수 있을 것 같아요.
So yeah, it is true that I was kind of a standalone addition to the team. However, everyone on the teams has been really great. Everyone has great personalities, and I've just been kind of focusing on my own role on the team and trying to do my best as like the subtank of the team, and that has, you know, in turn given us really great results. So I hope in the future I'll just keep doing my job and keep playing my role on the team, and that would yield great results as it has so far.
Yeah, it definitely did. You have been a standout player and mentioned on the desk like time and time again in all the games we've seen. Now, as I mentioned, you guys are still undefeated. However, looking at your performance on control maps, it looked a lot less dominant than what we're seeing from you on other maps. Why do you think that is?
예, 말씀드린 것처럼 아직 여태까지 무패 행진을 달리고 계신데 하지만 쟁탈 맵들에서는 살짝 이게 아쉬움이 좀 있어 보입니다. 다른 맵들에 비해서 쟁탈이 약한 점이 무엇이라고 생각하시나요?
저희가 약간 다른 맵들 화물이나 그런 건 좀 강한데 아직 쟁탈은 연습하면서도 좀 맞춰가고 있고 저희가 지금 뭘 제일 잘할 수 있는지 계속 연구하고 있고 선수들끼리 맞춰보고 있는 중이라서 저희가 좀 오늘 그냥 경기가 잘 안 풀렸던 것 같아요. 그래서 다음 컨트롤 맵 나오면은 더 좋은 모습 보일 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, regarding other maps like Escort, etc., we've having really good results on stage. But I guess today for Control Point, we didn't really have that much of a great result. We're still truly studying the maps really hard, and trying to come up with like creative compositions. Hopefully, the next time we play Control on stage, we'll have a much better showing.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me here. And once more, congrats to you and your team. We're now heading over to the desk to break down all the action.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Congrats to the London Spitfire and Fury who walk away with another match win. We're back here for the post-game breakdown. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, alongside Crumbs and Sideshow one more time. And at the half, it was a 2-0 lead for the London Spitfire, so they enter game number 3 on match point. We knew this was going to be a big match for the San Francisco Shock, but things didn't start out the way they were hoping for. It was the Spitfire bringing the fight to them despite keeping Hureg on the bench and bringing Profit back in the lineup. Let's start here with University. It's the first map. What did we see in the opening fight, Sideshow?
Yeah, in the opening fight, we have a telestrated replay from University that we can hit onto here. And for me, I thought that it was all going to go wrong for San Francisco Shock right from the beginning because they had such a passive position. Now, what went well for them, if we can highlight Dante coming around behind, he was able to apply pressure. And what you'll see here is that the London Spitfire Profit moves back over to this corner and it creates a lot of space for the rest of San Francisco Shock to move forwards. So Dante's pressuring Profit behind, they get a bit of damage on him, and Profit is forced to dash away over behind. Now, this opens up so much space. I'll pause it again and you can see all of the space that San Francisco Shock have to work with. They can push through any kind of way across the point here, but they're a little bit slow to take control of this. Nomi kind of ponders his way across the point, and Dante actually moves backwards to connect with the rest of his team and get a bit of healing. And this is all the space or time that London Spitfire need. You see Fisher here is going to have a really deep dive. He causes so much distraction as everybody falls in onto him. And Fury is also going to follow this guy back over here as the rest of London Spitfire try and make use of this space. So watch Fisher as he dives super deep here. Nomi has already used his bubble but tries to counter dive him. And I'm going to pause it again because Fury has got this defense defense matrix on him, which is so crucial here, because these guys, this little puddle of people that San Francisco Shock are trying to deal with, they're trying to punish this dive from Fisher, but they don't have the damage to be able to do it because their positioning is so spread out. You can see that Baby Bay has no impact on this fight. Sleepy can only just get targets onto Fisher, and Dante is trying his best to put damage on, but can't really. Whereas from the side of the London Spitfire, you have a huge amount of damage coming out from Badosin. You've got the defense matrix, and you've got a large amount of damage going there. Profit is also focusing on Nomi, and in fact, Birdring even gets in on the fight. The focus fire is so much better for them, so that you can see that even though Fisher's on his own, it's actually Nomi that dies first. He gets so much damage, Discord Orb on him, Profit, boom, easy with the takedown. And so even though Fisher's dived all the way in, the focus targets and the creation of space is so much better for London Spitfire. They're able to roll this forwards. Dante doesn't quite know how to react, and the team is just kind of sat at the back there. They're not making use of the space that they that was allowed them at the beginning by Dante going aggressive. And I thought this is the beginning of the crumble. They're playing passive again, and London Spitfire are just going to roll over them, but that was not the case.
Well, for the Spitfire, performing that dive so well is actually part of the reason why they can build their ultimate so darn fast, because Nuss gets to be the first one to get the ultimate out on the Mercy, and I think that their ability to execute these dives so effectively and the result of it is actually what's causing them and giving them a lot of trouble in these control maps like Oasis, because the ult management gets to be all over the place. What ended up happening in many of these sets in Oasis is that they are blowing ultimates at just incorrect timings. Instead of taking a lot of dry fights, which that means you just go for it without any ultimates to try to get something out of the opponent, to try to charge your own. They're just using them sporadically. You have Nuss using the Mercy ultimate way too many times where it's just not necessary. Some fights that San Francisco want to take, they just want to build their own ultimate to prepare for the final push, whereas they are treating most fights as it's break or make or break, really.
So we saw the Junkrat coming out from Baby Bay, but I felt like we saw a bit of a transition from the Shock. Yes, you lost University, but there's still 2 more rounds in control. We're still on game 3 here, if you're keeping up with us at home. Let's jump into the adjustments we saw from the Shock as this game played out. You talked about the ult crumps. Sideshow, what did we see when it came to positioning?
Okay, we also saw some positioning style and composition changes coming out from the San Francisco Shock. So we've got, again, another replay, but this time it's from Gardens, which is the 3rd stage that they played and where they were finally able to close it out. So the guy that I want to draw attention to here is Dak. He's made the switch over. So they were playing Mercy Zenyatta before, and now they're playing Lucio Mercy. And London Spitfire are still playing this kind of dive composition here, particularly with the Tracer and Genji. So their aim is to establish position kind of early and see if they can get a dive target. But the only person to dive on San Francisco Shock is Dak. Everybody else has way too much mobility or health. And you can see here, if I pause again, that the San Francisco Shock are so much faster to the point because they're all with the Lucio. That allows the tanks of Nomi and Nevix to work their way up. I'm just going to detail the way that they've pushed all the way up here, and they're going to take the high ground way faster than London Spitfire are. This gives them a massive positional advantage. So take a look here at Nomi and Nevix as they're able to get up on the high ground really quickly. And now London Spitfire are in a pickle, because who do they focus? They don't have a target that they can dive easily. The Mercy's up in the air. They have to go for Dak. So keep your eyes on Dak here as Profit puts pressure on him, and instantly Nomi and Nevix are around behind trying to stop Profit from getting this fight. Then they decide to back off London Spitfire and go again. They're going to focus Nomi, but they don't have enough damage with Genji Tracer to be able to battle him. And the positional advantage and the fact that they've countered the dive with their composition allows them to have a much better experience here, because they take control of the high ground and they're just asking them to come up to them. This kind of positional play is what we need to see from San Francisco. There are glimmers of it, hints of it, and they need to continue going forwards if they want to beat these teams.
Well, it also spiraled into them being able to have more time with their supports and thinking, what can we do with this time? And it switched to, all of a sudden, instead of their supports dying, they have so much space to dive the supports in the Spitfire, and so they started focusing Badosin, who was just fragging people left, right, and center on that final point, just died a whole bunch. And typically when we look at San Francisco, their supports are dying a little bit more than their counterparts, but on this map in Oasis, they actually kept up, and that's typically the sign that you look for this team. If they're succeeding, their supports aren't dying.
And I think we saw a record low number of times that Dak was in the kill feed. He stayed alive on Lucio. You know, this is a Lucio main in the past. He was able to shine on Garden. San Fran gets their first win in this series, and it looks like, all right, could we see another Game 5? Is London going to succeed 2 more maps? Well, it didn't happen. Let's go into Junkertown, and right from the get-go, this is where we saw it was London stalling out the attack from San Francisco Shock, but Dozen, huge plays always on that Zenyatta.
Well, when you're running this composition with the double sniper, it's kind of greedy because you're running only one support, and it falls apart when you get flanked from multiple angles, and you never expect the flanking Zenyatta going by himself against a Widowmaker, none other than Baby Bays as well. So I think that London took a great audible cue here to just say, this is what they're running, let's just attack from multiple angles and force San Francisco to split their attention, and as a result, stall the first point way too long.
Yeah, and we always talk about this roster, London Spitfire, being incredible on paper, having so much individual talent, and it came out all across this match, apart from Oasis perhaps, but Profit, Birdring, you've got Hurek, who had fantastic performances, you've got Fury and Badosin, who just had phenomenal right clicks all over the place. If you're not able to beat this team using solid ult economy and great team fights, you are probably going to lose on an individual basis. So San Francisco Shock, although they had glimmers of it, they were shut down by clutch plays a lot of the time.
Shout out to Roadhog, loving the ponytail. Crumbs, we got to wrap up this segment with a final breakdown. Now, we saw San Francisco Shock with the big opportunity. We looked at the ult meters, and Crumbs, you said, no, not now, don't do it now. Where do you feel that the Shock got a little bit greedy on their defense?
So the Shock was doing a great hold on the first one. It looked like they were actually keeping London at bay just as they did, and they were forced to blow about 5 ultimates to try to defend, and this is the aftermath of that one. San Francisco is trying to take a fight right here, but look at the time. They have so much time left. The payload is in a position where it hasn't actually capped the first point. By taking this fight right now, you're giving the position advantage to the London Spitfire. They're already established there, whereas if you wait for the point to go through, have them go through the corridor, you've got 5 ultimates. You can set up the position before Spitfire get there, guarantee a couple of 1-fights because you have more ultimates, and I actually thought that had they done that, they would have been able to win Junkertown and we would have gone to game 5. It's so close for them to actually have done this that they will just look back and say, look, just don't fight here. Take the fight on your own terms. That's pretty much what Overwatch is. Force them to play on your terms, and you'll almost always walk away victorious.
All right, we've wrapped up all the games, but there's still one more thing we need to do before this segment's over, and that is to crown our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP, and it's none other than the Zenyatta. Badosin walks away with the honors today.
Could it be anybody else? This guy had a phenomenal performance. I really love the style that he has because it's so individualistic. He goes for 1v1s. He tries to find picks on squishy targets, and he's really not afraid of battling stuff like Tracers or battling the Genjis at different times. It's a different style to some of the other excellent Zens in the league, and boy, is it fun to watch.
Exactly, and when we ponder which style really is superior, would you rather have a guy that's dealing more damage, healing more than everybody, or actually getting picks? Picks are slowing down the tempo for the other team, wrecking havoc, being an actual threat that you always have to recognize, and this is what he was. I mean, just look at him. 28 final blows as a Zenyatta when you're dealing with Tracers, Pharahs, Genjis, Widowmakers.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
We made Doa happy. Badosin walking away with your player of the match honor, sponsored by Omen by HP. Fantastic work from the Spitfire support. A little bit later, we have 2 more matches to go, and we got a big one coming up for everybody at home. The Seoul Dynasty trying to match the Spitfire at the top of the leaderboard. They'll be going up against the Shanghai Dragons for our second match of the day when we return. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP.